Hello and welcome to Political Bazaar, the show that talks about politics, economy and the space in between. Today with us we have a very special guest. He's a three-time MP. He's the Karnataka co-convener of the BJP's election strategy for 2019. He's a part of the think tank for the BJP in the South. He's a part of the BJP's publicity committee. With me, I have Rajeev Chandrasekhar. Thank you, Rajeev, for coming on Political Bazaar. Let me start with your Karnataka experience. You are the co-convener of the election strategy for BJP over there in the state. How do you see BJP doing in Karnataka this time? We know the elections are over, but after that.
No, you see, I expect the BJP to do very well. Yeah, as you know, we had 17 seats in 2014.
Yes.
And you also know that in 2014, the BJP was a divided party. Part of the BJP had left to form the KJP.
Yes.
So if you look back at 2009, where we had hit to 21 to 22 seats, I expect the tally and the people of Karnataka to support the BJP to the extent of, I believe, 22 to 23 seats at the very minimum.
22 to 23 seats, okay. I'll just come to a point that you had raised. At the height of the Modi wave in 2014,
Right.
17 seats were what the BJP got of the total 28.
Correct.
And this was two less from what the previous, 2009. Right. This time you're saying it's a unified unit, yes, but there were some reports that some candidate selections were not exactly to the favor of the state leadership. Do you think that could play, spoil sport?
No, I think the biggest issue in these elections in Karnataka, as is the case with most of the country, is the elections in 2019 are a pro-incumbency election.
Yes.
With a tremendous amount of momentum for what Prime Minister Modi has done and the goodwill and the trust he has created.
Okay.
Number one. But what adds to that momentum in Karnataka specifically is the fact that the last 6 years, while Prime Minister Narendra Modi was Prime Minister in Delhi, we had the Congress government in Karnataka.
Okay.
So for an average voter of Karnataka and a citizen of Karnataka, the contrast between the conduct of the central government under Prime Minister Modi and the rampant corruption, the exploitation, the loot and the almost lack of development of Karnataka in the last 5 years is a sharp contrast. So in a lot of ways, our campaign in Karnataka was a very simple campaign.
Okay.
Look at Prime Minister Modi's 5 years,
Okay.
all of what he has done, the integrity and the trust that he has created between the citizen and the government, and look at what you have in the last 5 years under Rahul Gandhi's Congress in Karnataka.
I'll just turn it around because in 2014, if you look at the numbers,
Yes.
the JDS and the Congress fought separately.
Yes.
Combined together, their vote share would be much more than the BJP's in 2014. Do you think this time, since you're fighting the elections together, it could actually not exactly go according to plan?
This argument about the arithmetic of the caste is an argument that is being used by almost everybody in UP and even in parts of Bihar,
Okay.
to argue that the Maha Milawat or the Maha Gadbandhan votes will be more than the BJP vote. But what they miss is that elections are not about arithmetic and Excel spreadsheets. It is about a true emotive response by the voters to a very simple question. Who do you want as Prime Minister of India?
Okay.
Understand, this is not a corporation election. This is not a Jilla Panchayat election. It is not even an election for the MLA. It is an election to decide who will be Prime Minister of India in 2019 May. And that issue cuts across demography, age and caste is our confidence.
Okay, so I will take it that the BJP is putting Modi as a face, yes, and that is how it is. But you're selecting your member of parliament who's going to represent you. So in that sense, I just want to ask, especially with Bengaluru South,
Yeah.
Tejasvi Surya, a surprise entrant, a young person. There were reports that he was not a part of the state list. And, it was actually later decided. Because of that, there were also reports that of the 8 assembly constituencies in Bengaluru South, some of those, and especially the MLAs, were not really on board. Do you think this could in some ways, because I'm asking you also because you have been closely leading this.
Yeah. No, of course. And look, Anand Kumar ji was a very close friend of mine and a mentor. I was also amongst the people who said we should support Tejaswini Anand Kumar. Okay. But the party has taken a clear view about relatives in these elections, whether it is Manohar Parikar's son in Goa or Vinod Khanna's widow in Gurdaspur, or indeed Anand Kumar ji's widow in Tejaswini Anand Kumar in Bangalore South. So that was a policy decision taken by the party, and everybody abides by that.
Everybody abides by that.
And understand, the BJP is a party where there will be a lot of discourse, a lot of debate. We are all free to express our views on what we prefer. But at the end of the day, when the party decides what we have to do, everybody basically falls in line and does it. And I will also assure you, regardless of Tejasvi Surya's, let us say, youth or relatively short stint in public life, or being new to Bengaluru South, I will today on television tell you that he will win, and he will win decisively with a margin that will be very close to what Anand Kumar ji won in 2014.
Okay, let me come to another question, the last one perhaps regarding Karnataka. After the Balakot strikes happened, there was an unfortunate comment by former Chief Minister Yedurappa saying that this would win us 22 of 28 seats. Now, many people know that you actually stand for armed forces, the veterans, and you've actually spoken a lot for their cause in Parliament. How do you see this comment?
No, look, I think what Mr. Yediyurappa, and he clarified that subsequently, what he wanted to say was very simple, that the approach to national security by Prime Minister Narendra Modi is a sharp contrast to the approach or the strategic restraint by the Congress for the 10 years.
That is...
And that this approach, robust approach to national security, is a legitimate issue for voters to discuss, debate and vote and support the BJP in these elections.
So put a number saying we'll win 22 seats. You think that that could have been avoided?
Look, in the heat of politics, you have many people saying many things.
Okay.
In the day of TV bites and reporters putting mics in front of you, you leaders don't necessarily get the time to measure their response in the dust and heat of a political battle. I am pretty clear that the BJP's position on this is very simple. It has been articulated from the Prime Minister down to the smallest, lowest, Karyakarta, which is that we believe our approach to national security, which is keeping India first and doing everything necessary to protect our soldiers, is a legitimate issue for the voters of this country to speak about, talk about, understand and support.
Let me come to Kerala. Kerala was a state which, again, you're a part of the think tank in the BJP South, and I had gone for election coverage over there. How do you see the BJP's chances over there?
Look, in 2016, I was actively involved. I was then an independent MP. I was part of the NDA, but I was not a BJP MP. I predicted in 2016, and it is there in public domain, that the left is on its last legs, and that there is really that space is going to be taken up by a combination of the BJP, NDA and the Congress. And 2019, this is exactly what is going to happen. The left is going to shrink sharply. In my opinion, the polls are pointing to 2 to 3 seats for the left.
Okay.
And conversely, the space that is opened up for a center-right, pro-economy, pro-investment, state focus on poverty and so on and so forth, the BJP narrative is gaining currency. It has, of course, been helped by the fact that the left and the Congress have been very ambivalent on the Sabrimala issue. I expect in the 2019 election, the BJP NDA vote share to cross 20%.
Okay.
This is not an insignificant thing compared to the 11% that we had in 14. Yes. And I believe we are in strong contention for 5 seats. And understand, this is so different from every election where there would only be a 0-1 against the BJP in every opinion poll in Kerala.
Every opinion poll.
Which is Trivandrum.
But let me come. Yeah. If the BJP is really serious about the party's development over there, one thing what I feel is, how do you explain to the voter a candidate choice like Suresh Gopi from Thrissur, when you actually have cadres who are working there and you bring in Suresh Gopi? So this was also seen in 2014 when Srishant was actually put in, 2016, when Srishant was put in from Trivandrum.
Look, I think everybody has a point of view when it comes to a candidate, and that is the nature of democracy. If the entire electorate was supporting one candidate, then you would have margins of 90% and 100%.
No, this was actually a grouse I heard from BJP.
No, I think, look, the BJP in Kerala is in the process of a transformation. For many years, the BJP has had many very dedicated Karyakartas, and it has always had the 6 to 11% vote share. It is now, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Amit Shah ji, the party is expanding beyond its traditional base. It is moving from the 10% vote share to the 20% vote share. And therefore, there will be a lot of people who are not, let's say, traditional BJP voters coming into the base.
And you will show a candidate like Suresh Gopi there?
No, I think Suresh Gopi will surprise you with his performance in Trichur, first of all.
That is because the BJP's base is growing. But my question again there is for the Karyakarta who's working there.
In a democracy, I'll tell you, the only judge of a candidate's appropriateness or popularity is the electorate.
Okay.
Like I said, you may have a point of view, I may have a point of view. These are all individual points of view. And in a robust democracy like ours, there will be plenty of views about individuals. But I always believe that the best test in a democracy is essentially leave it to the people who vote to judge.
Exactly.
And if he wins,
sure,
the people have spoken.
Leave it to the people. 23rd we'll get to know. Now another thing that I want to ask you is that the United Nations has blacklisted Masood Azhar, the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief. He's been he's been accused of Pulwama, 26/11, a lot of attacks on India. And many people on the government side, the BJP would want to call it the government's victory. The opposition is saying, no, this is actually a collective one. For years it's been done. At this election season, how do you think this is going to play out?
No, I think the fact that Masood Azhar has been blacklisted by the United Nations, and as a result of the coercive diplomatic strategies of India, is a big deal. It is not a small deal at all. And I think you have these Congress spokespersons saying we did it in 2009 and my grandfather did it and somebody's mother did it. This is a clear and visible evidence of what the Prime Minister's national security doctrine is all about.
Okay.
Which is that nobody anywhere in Pakistan today who perpetrates terrorism and who openly advocates violence against innocent people in India will be allowed to go free. Where we have to use military power, we will use military power. Where we have to get people on board, like China, who have shielded Masood Azhar for so many years, we will do so. So this is, in my opinion, the biggest news that has to come out during this election season. And it must be a legitimate issue to debate and discuss during these elections.
So you think blacklisting is one thing. How do you think this is going to help India vis-a-vis terror attacks?
No, I think, look, it is basically a huge deal because it sends a signal to all of these organizations that have been mollycoddled by the state in Pakistan that our reach, India's reach, under Prime Minister Modi is a reach which is military and it is also a reach that is financial and diplomatic.
Okay.
Please understand, Pakistan is now struggling to get out of being grey listed under the FATF.
FATF, yes.
So this is a country that has suddenly found itself in the crosshairs of the world, despite being a perpetrator of terrorism for the last 25 years. So the only thing the Congress can actually legitimately say today is, yes, Pakistan has been doing terrorism for 25 years. We've been all talking about it for 25 years and it's now taken...
Will the blacklisting of Masood Azhar be an election issue in the following phases?
It should be, it must be, and it is a legitimate issue that showcases the difference and contrast between Prime Minister Modi's approach to terrorism and the Congress's approach to terrorism.
2019 will give surprises vis-a-vis Kerala and Karnataka for the BJP. In Karnataka, the BJP is expected to do well. In Kerala, it might open its account. When it comes to national security, Rajeev Chandrasekhar feels that national security should be an election issue. And vis-a-vis the Balakot strikes, if Prime Minister Modi has taken a tough decision, a hard call, and it has paid off, he has all rights to talk about it. And actually, that is a point in which elections should be discussed. Vis-a-vis Masood Azhar, Rajeev Chandrasekhar again feels that this will be a big issue in the coming phases of the polls. Thank you, Rajeev, for appearing on Political Bazaar. It was a pleasure speaking to you. That's all for us from now. Thank you.